What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Dan Kathman. I'm joined here with a very special guest today. We are in a fort. We're doing this podcast in the studio. Very cool stuff. We're going to do some Halloween-themed videos. And today we're going to talk about Hocus Pocus. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to one of my close friends and fantastic actors, General Creative. She's fantastic. She is probably one of the best people I've ever met. Please welcome my friend Lauren Crandall.
Oh my God.
God damn, I did it again.
What an intro. Thank you. I'm happy to be here for the Halloween season.
The Halloween season is upon us.
The best season of the year.
The best season ever.
And we're going to talk about the best Halloween movie.
Yeah. Right now, we're going to talk about the best Halloween movie. We may do just so you know, we may do a series of different types of videos. We have a lot planned, a lot of ideas. But this is our first one, and we couldn't think of a better way to start this Halloween season than the best film we think that is All Hallows Eve.
Yes. Hocus Pocus. Through the ages, through the times.
Through the times.
A fact I just learned today.
Oh, what's up?
1993.
93.
93
Wow.
is when it came out.
That's interesting.
Yes, that was 4 years before I was born, which is insane to me.
That's wild.
So, but I still watch it. I watch it every year.
Well, yeah. And I think that's something, too, to think about is why we want to talk about it so much is because it's a film, movie, picture, whatever you're going to say.
that has stood the test of time.
That has stood the test of time, but also the rewatch value every single time, every year you want to watch it. There's a lot of Halloween movies, even some family-ish movies, but Halloween movies that you don't want to watch every year.
No.
But this one, it's like tradition. Like we want to watch it. We have to watch it. It's not Halloween until we watch it.
Exactly. It like kicks
it.
off. I'm pretty sure with the 31 Nights of Halloween, Hocus Pocus, it has to be at least like 20 of those.
Yeah, it's in there several times.
Probably also on the verse.
Yeah, it's wild. It's one of those, that's interesting as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a writer, as a general in the field of the entertainment, that you find these movies that we just totally enjoy and get engrossed in, but also one that you make something, you make a piece of, a project, a piece of art, and then it just continues to do well. It continues every single year.
I can't imagine what those actors and the director, how, they feel at this point, having been so many years after that, people are still like loving the movie and experiencing it for the first time and over and over and over again.
Yes.
Like we're still talking about it.
And like fangirling about it. Like crazy. Like people deck their houses out in this stuff. Like it's so like good. Fandom is crazy for this stuff. So I think it's wild. I think it's interesting to talk about. I mean, what is it about it? I mean, it's a Disney movie. It's family friendly. We talked about that earlier off this podcast. We were talking about how, one of the things is them being like, because Christmas is the same way. There's Christmas movies that are the same exact way, but Hocus Pocus, Halloween, there's something about also family friendly Halloween movies that the whole family can watch.
Right. And
both enjoy.
Specifically those that also cater to adult humor.
Right.
So it does both. It's not just like totally G-rated, right? It's PG.
Right, PG. Parental guidance.
Right.
Which we learned that today.
Which means the parents will be there and they did a good job of making them laugh. And I feel like it's like one of those movies that you rediscover as an adult and you find different things to love about it.
Well, I think there's something to like making a movie for adults, but it's also children can watch it too. I think that's different than making a children's movie. I think
this is almost like a
mindset.
children's movie that adults can also watch, as opposed to an adult movie that children can also watch. I think
I think it's.
You think it's the opposite?
I think it's the opposite. I think that's why it does well. I think that's why we still want to watch it. Because, for instance, like here's another one, Halloween Town, great movie made for TV. It's still good, but it has that TV kind of is not that great quality. Like the whole family doesn't want to watch Halloween Town. Okay, y'all don't want to watch that again. Yeah. Like we've seen a couple times. Even though I'm crazy and I like to watch that kind of stuff again, I'll watch it again. Like, I'll put it on the background. That's fun. But Hocus Pocus, I think, is a movie that is a movie made for like adults to enjoy, but has the ability to be that
like interesting for kids and capture their imagination.
But we're thinking about kids too. The kids, we're thinking about it. We're not cussing. We're not saying. We're not talking about anything totally inappropriate. Your kids can watch this. Any age can probably watch it.
It does so good because it's like the kids can watch it and go, oh my God, magic and witches and school and Halloween trick-or-treating. I know what that is. And then preteens can watch it and fall in love with Max and with Allison and have a preteen heart attack about it. Like I'm sure everyone has done. And then as an adult, you're all that adult humor that comes with Halloween and going to Halloween parties like the parents do and wearing weird costumes and getting trashed and saying, kids figure it out. You identify with different characters as you grow up with the movie.
Well, see, and for me, when I was a kid, I was, I never got infatuated with the girl lead. I was all about Sarah Jessica Parker. She was hot. She was fucking so hot. And I was like, wow, That would be an interesting poll. It was like, who did you fall for? You were into the witches. 100%.
Right.
But Sarah Jessica Parker particularly. But she was young during that time. She was, youngish. She was probably, I don't know, she was in her 20s, I think, when she got that part. Late 20s maybe.
Yeah.
But she was youngish. So a teenager watching it, when I became a teenager and watched it, I was like, Sarah Jessica is obviously the hot one, to me.
Sure. Well, of the witches, right? But I feel like someone has to make a TikTok about this if they already haven't. But have you seen the ones where if you were in love with a certain character, you're definitely bi now? It's definitely Allison and Max. It's sort of like, who do I think is hot?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, I related to Max. I thought that was, I think Max as a character is very relatable. You're moving to
he's the underdog that does well.
Well, also you're moving to a new town. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very common in kids in I did it during high school.
Yeah.
So I related to that. I'm like, oh yeah, a whole new place. And then the girl you're crushing on. And then, you got your sister with you, so it's a whole dynamic.
She's the popular girl who happens to have a soul.
And it's really I don't really believe in all this hocus pocus,
Oh my God. And the bullies in this are the funniest thing on the fucking planet. Literally.
That was his laugh.
And just taking his shoes, what?
This is ice.
Right, they're not cool bullies.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we watch them now and we they're such weirdos. They're such nerds, but they still.
But honestly, when I was a kid, I was watching
power.
it. When I was watching it, I was a kid. I thought that they were oh man, these are tough guys.
Right.
I was a little bit afraid.
I
was like, okay, cool. Well, they'll probably beat you up.
Damn.
They're probably, but at the same time, it's I was like a child.
So, right. And
so they look like grown adults, they're going to.
That's what that's what I hate about some of these movies. It's about high school and everyone's obviously 27.
Well, here's the thing that I have an argument to that because I think that adults see kids like children. So for anyone, because looking back now, it's kind of interesting because if you ever actually seen a 16-year-old play a 16 who's playing a 16-year-old, he or she looks like they're 12,
teeny tiny,
11,
right? 10. Well, I think it's because we're used to, seeing all these high school movies with fully grown people. Maybe who are playing high school.
I think it's also a perception of age and stuff. I think that's just something that comes with it. Because I don't know. I don't know what it is, but also some people just look young. Tom Cruise was playing, teenagers when he was late 20s, in Greece, Rizzo was 34 when she was playing Rizzo. Or 33, she was...
Right, which is insane.
Yeah.
But I guess it's funny because it depends, I guess, on, what your high school experience was.
Right.
Because, I wasn't doing cool, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I was doing my homework and keeping my head down. You know what I mean? I wasn't I didn't, I wasn't someone who went to parties or did cool, crazy stuff. I just, went to school, so I guess it depends on if you had a crazy high school or not.
Whether or not you see people as young or old.
No, on like the stuff that they do in high school too. Oh. Right. Yeah. So I kind of like skip.
Oh, okay. So the stuff they do at like the parties. And
right.
Stuff.
So they not only are these people like looking super old because they are old playing high schoolers.
But they're like
doing old stuff. They're like drinking and going out and like having these. I'm like there's no way I would have been allowed to or could have figured out how to do anything cool.
Wow. How old were you when you first started? Like when you drank? Were you older?
Well, I think it was like in college or something.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, more power to you. I mean, to me, that says that like you do really well with peer pressure. Like you're like, nah, I'm very
that's not true.
That's not true?
I wanted to be peer pressured so bad. No, I really did.
I wanted to be peer pressured so bad. If someone just said, hey, you have a drink, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, no, seriously. I tried my hardest to get myself into those situations, but I didn't. My parents were really protective over me and I was naive enough and didn't create, special, interesting bonds with those, sort of the kids that were doing that stuff. Yeah. So I didn't get invited to those things. And even when I did and I tried to go, like, my parents were like, absolutely not. You're going to get peer pressured. And I was like, yeah, I know. That's what I want.
That's the point.
I'm thankful I didn't end up doing that. Right. But
that's weird.
I did try.
You were also a theater kid, and theater kids are kind of freaky, and they do. That's where I got all my stuff from. When I started doing theater, like those kids are crazy, dude. Like I did my biggest parties. Like I was the opposite. I partied and drank and did all kind of shit in high school for sure.
So then you saw that, the movies and stuff, and you're like, right.
Yes, I threw a huge party on Cinco de Mayo that the cops got called, and my parents grounded me
school?
It was fucking crazy. They wasn't supposed to be that big, but I wrote a whole script about it.
It
was such a movie. No. Anytime someone gets the word gets out, like we weren't trying to have a big thing, and the word got out that someone was having there was parents were like out of the country.
Sure.
And
do they know about this?
Oh yeah, they found out that night. Like, it was a whole thing. Like the cops got called. Like my. Okay. I'll tell you the story another time.
Yeah, I was like, we don't have to get into it, but
it's a whole story.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole movie.
But right, so these kids in Hocus Pocus, I feel like they do sort of crazy things, but it's not like super.
Yeah, no,
it's more like adventure as it is like breaking the law,
Right, right. Which to me, I relate to that. Like, I don't know if you maybe not ever broke the law, but like I was into the mischief and stuff from like, I was like 12 and into mischief.
Well, even if like someone like I wanted to be read, I'd watch that and be like, oh my God, I wish I could go on this sort of
but I was like,
exciting adventure. I was a good kid.
Okay, let me get something straight. I never got in trouble in school ever. So I was like really quiet. School, like I never went. A conduct mark was like, the worst.
Oh yeah.
But like outside of school,
no.
Watch out. But I'm kidding. No. So Hocus Pocus, probably one of the best Halloween films of all time that stood the test of time over and over again, has the replay value that is just incredible. Again, there's several movies that are fantastic. We talked about them. Beetlejuice, great movie.
Yes.
Neither of us have ever watched it.
Rewatched it. No, it was like a one and done. Like, all right, and
a couple times maybe.
And that's really famous.
There's a couple of Nightmare Before Christmas, another one. That's another Tim Burton film.
Right.
I've watched it maybe once or twice in my life. There's more. There's tons. Of course, all the like Freddy movies I don't rewatch. Every Halloween. Sometimes Halloween, Michael Myers is scary. Like I might turn one of those newer ones on, just to like kind of get scared. But
Hocus Pocus does a good job of being a Halloween movie, but not being like a horror movie.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Right. I think it's like
a feel good Halloween movie, which.
Right, you want the feeling.
Most of them are creepy.
Yeah, I want the feeling of Halloween. I don't really want to get super scared
or creeped out.
Yeah, and especially with a family, like that's the thing. The family, like holidays are generally about gatherings. You're with friends. You think about it. Like even if you're just no family, like just friends, like you guys are having a party, and you're hanging out. a little sleepover or whatever, and you want to put on a movie, it's around the whatever holidays, you generally want to put on something that everyone can kind of enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's what the movie is like sort of about. It's about going trick-or-treating and about the sort of myths of Halloween coming to life, of course, but it's about believing in those things and the talking cat and the zombie and all of that. Thackeray. It's all really it's those things that you do yourself during the Halloween season is believe in those things and go on adventures and go trick-or-treating and go to those parties. It's about the things that we do as people, so it's fun to watch that where the magic does exist.
And it's interesting that like as like a writer or thinking about it like making movies or whatever, you're thinking about, okay, maybe we don't try to like scare the crap out of everybody. Maybe we try to make something that's a little bit, maybe we're not thinking necessarily making a children's movie, but we're thinking about making something that, is just about Halloween. You know? It's around Halloween. It's all Halloween themed, but we're just, it's more about a story or, a time than let's see how we can scare somebody.
Yeah. And Halloween itself is just like such a funny concept. In general, as a thing that we do.
I forget the
in America. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know when it started?
No,
I forget. There's actually a pretty interesting story.
I bet we'll have to do a segment for with facts.
We're gonna look this up, guys, because there is something. It got started. There was a reason why Halloween got started back in the day, and it was something like farmery or scarecrow.
I know, but here we are without any reason, and we carve pumpkins, we dress up as characters.
Now it's just a day.
It's like the thing of candy. It's all. It's like let's celebrate creepy. Let's celebrate death. Let's say, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? It's Death amazing. Day. It's so odd.
That's a thing, though.
That is it's a more legitimate
as a thing that with skeleton paint face.
That's
that's like a week long thing. I don't know if it's long or short. I don't know, but we don't know the facts. We'll find all the facts about all this stuff. But it's interesting. Yeah, as a concept, it's really kind of weird. But I love that. I think that makes it better for me. I like it. I'm like, let's just have a day where we just like,
Right. So that's what makes like it a perfect concept to make a movie about, because it's such a random sort of set of things that we do. Yeah. That we've all accepted. But this is a holiday. Right. You know what I mean? This is a month-long thing that we just collectively decide to all dress up and eat sugary things.
Right, and scare people.
And it's so perfect to make a movie about it because it is so inherently interesting.
And we're all make believe now. We're all, this is all make believe.
Yeah.
We're all.
Yeah, and I think there's a part of us that wants the magic, the witchery to exist, and that movie lets us have that.
Yeah, well, we're all scared sometimes in the dark. You know what I mean? So I think it's all. It's all, no, I'm saying like that's very deep. We're all scared in the dark.
Aren't we? All of us universally.
We're starting a new podcast called We're All Scared in the Dark, aren't we?
That'd be a good segment. Yeah. A good Halloween segment.
We're all scared. We should do a podcast or a video or something where we episode where we like act out like a scene and we're talking like we're acting. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we're telling a creepy story.
Yeah, like scary stories.
Like we're scary stories, and we're telling them and we're acting out the scenes.
Yeah, let us know if you want to hear scary stories narrated by the two of us.
Yeah, we can narrate and also play the characters. That would be interesting. Like how people tell scary stories and then they're actually playing the characters. And but it's just audio. They're just listening.
Right.
There's some podcasts like that, pretty good. Like that one that got turned into a Netflix show. Can't think of it right now, but
oh God, I don't know.
It's called Dear John, and it's like it's a murder mystery. I think it's Dear John. No, it's not Dear John.
Dear John. I was like, Dear John's like a Nicholas Sparks book.
Yes, it is. Dirty John. Dirty John.
Oh, okay.
Is a Netflix show now. It's a podcast, and they did this whole orchestra of like podcasts where they had like a real actors narrate each part. It was true crime stuff like that. Anyway, very interesting. So anyway, we may do something like that. That may be fun. But Hocus Pocus. I mean, honestly, I know people make fun of it. People joke about it, but it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's such a feel-good thing.
Such a feel-good thing. So fun. It's funny. It's actually funny. Like there are parts, like that's what gets me. I like comedies because generally I think it's rated a comedy.
I would assume so.
And I like it because and it is Disney, so they do a general good job about like keeping things kid friendly generally, because that was like their whole ball of wax. That's what their whole system is based on. Like their cartoons so they're good at that. But what I like is when you can do that and you can do comedy and it hits with adults.
Right.
Like, it's good comedy because comedy can flop pretty easily, often, almost all the time. Like,
well, because it's like comedy about what it is to just like be grown up.
Yeah. Well, even the witches, when they first discovered what a street was, like that was hilarious.
Yes.
What is this? That was, and the actresses were killed it. I mean, they're the reason why that was so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, the lines are great, but they're just so incredible.
And it matters to get a good cast together because that's what really makes the movie, makes any movie a good movie.
Right.
Or a better movie than maybe it was on paper when you get the right people to really lean in.
Well, then you think about the other end of it, because some of those actors never did anything ever again, but they were forever seen as these characters. They couldn't get out of it. You think about that too. You then make such an iconic movie that you're no longer, you're Max forever. Right. You're no longer, you can't be anything else. And that's stuff. I think that's, I don't know what each person has their own story, the reason why they get in and out of acting and stuff like that. But
Bette did fine.
Bette did fine. Sarah Jessica Parker did great.
Did fine.
But they're also they're the leads. That's their movie. They're what make it. There are two comedies together, and I don't know Betty's name. Is it Betty in the character?
No, Mary.
Mary.
I forget.
Hilarious. So fun. Their three chemistry is just fantastic. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so good. I mean, think about it. Like the other group doesn't, Max and his sister and the caddy, hardly any of them have any comedy. They're not really, they're the straight part of the movie. They're the story. They're not
they're kind of they're us experiencing what if these myths, what if this magic was actually a part of Halloween, and we're discovering that it is, which is really fun.
But the extraordinary is them, and the witches they're just they're just so funny. Can't cast it better. So I think that's important, but it's just I think holiday movies are always a good choice to if you want to try to swing, make a swing at a movie or a show. If it's around holidays, I think it's a good bet, like, to make if you want long-term success for you. Because it's like, if you get it, you mean
right.
If you get it,
if you get it right, then
But we had this conversation before with other like Christmas movies that a lot of them are pretty bad.
Right.
But we still watch them like every year. Like, there's some, like Christmas with the Cranks isn't that great, but people turn it on.
But I'll
watch it. If it's like Christmas season,
it's on the 12 days of Christmas on whatever network that is. But
Freeform, I think.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Right.
Freeform is not sponsored, but 31 Nights is on Freeform as well.
But it's good.
And it's really good.
It's just fun. And, these days nostalgia is so precious.
Yeah.
And half of the movie was really good and you give it that credit, but it's also just nostalgic, which is its own sort of category of enjoyment. Is that even, you can overlook so much just because you've used to watch it and you can still watch it. But it's fun.
I don't think we've pinpointed it yet, because there's another Disney Halloween movie, Casper. Great movie.
Oh, I love Casper.
Great movie. Or also around the same time, I think it was 1994. And a year later, Disney hit another one out of the park.
Yeah.
But as far as like the test of time, it's not one that necessarily we watch every single year. That's like the pinnacle.
Yeah. No, I know. For Halloween, I feel like Hocus Pocus takes the cake. But if Casper's on, like, I'm watching it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
But I don't go out of my way to find it streaming or
I haven't watched it in a long time.
I feel like I watched it maybe 1 or 2 Halloweens ago, and it's just great.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Addams Family is another one. Great movie.
Right.
Again,
all the versions.
All the versions. Oh, the original was fantastic. With Edward Scissorhands, another good one. I mean, there's lots of good movies. That I watched as a kid, but not really. Most of them I don't. won't watch every single year for sure.
Right.
Like this is
the one.
Christmas, it's Home Alone for me. So
Christmas for me is the Grinch.
Okay, take that. That's a really close call. Probably
specifically the live action Grinch only.
Oh, live action. Don't even joke
movie.
about the cartoon version. It's the live action version. The cartoon version doesn't exist anymore to me.
It'd be a curious sort of survey, or let us know in the comments what your
there's a new cartoon version too. I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't see it either. I heard they made the Grinch nice, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, what's his face was the voice of it.
I don't know, but what I feel like for each person it is different. Like what your designated holiday for each holiday, what movie is it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. For me, Halloween. For you, it's
Hocus Pocus. Yeah.
And for Christmas, it's the live action Grinch.
No question about it. But I'd be curious to know if someone else is like.
Both of those are Disney, I think.
Are they?
I don't know if the Grinch is Disney. It may be Universal.
Or I feel like it's too raunchy for Disney.
Warner Brothers. I don't know what it is actually.
But
wait, hold on. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. But
we got a few
I feel like
left.
depending, you have different nostalgic memories connected to different holiday movies that bring you back to it.
Right.
So. I'm sure it's different for everyone, but Hocus Pocus is a big one. And I remember watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and in one of their songs called Friendtopia, they were like, everyone has to nostalgically watch Hocus Pocus. And I was like, shut up. I was good. Like, this, I'm like, I'm so different in age from, not so different, but different enough from, the creator of that. And she still wrote that in as like she watches Hocus Pocus nostalgically, and I was like, shut up.
I mean, it's the thing. I mean, I see TikToks.
Really
I see so many like every year, like everyone's like dressed up. And
I wonder where that cutoff is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Does Gen Z? I think I'm Gen Z, but I'm like old. Gen Z.
Well, I know it goes for old. Like my mom is a Hocus Pocus is her Halloween movie for sure.
But I wonder if anyone born in the 2000s would consider Hocus Pocus. You know what I'm saying? I wonder where that is.
My nieces and nephew are early Gen Z, whatever. I don't even know what's after Gen Z.
Millennials.
No, I mean like younger than Gen Z.
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where my nieces are. Oh my God. They're like freshmen in high school, and I'm like, are you guys even Gen Z? I mean,
I don't know. Well, I think Gen Z is
how far? How
Gen Z is like 95 to, I don't know.
Today? Yeah, there's a cutoff. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
Interesting.
I don't feel like Gen Z though. I'm bad at being Gen Z.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm just like a really, really young millennial, and Gen Z is just like, I'm like halfway. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a whole thing calling us Zillennials.
What's
people
that?
Who is like, well, it's like who feel like they're between Gen Z and millennials. Yeah, it's the late, it's like 90, 98, 90, like 96, 97 and 99. Being like, I wasn't born in the 2000s and I don't feel like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because those 90s movies and stuff.
Which is interesting because millennial is, you would think, outside of this, you'd be like millennial, born in 2000s. Like, because it's the millennium.
Right.
It wouldn't make sense. But it's not.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, millennials, you're born in 2000s. Like, nope.
Not at all.
No, not even close. All right, I think that's all the time we got for today. Thanks so much for watching.
Yes,
thanks
and
for
listening.
Listening, and very much listening. We are very much doing a podcast right now. So, Lauren, thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
you're awesome.
Woo! This has been so much fun, and I'll be back for more Halloween videos.
Yes,
and podcasts.
Yes, we got a lot planned. So, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Dan Kathman, and this is Talks with Dan Kathman.
Woo!
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and you can, I don't know if I got any time left, but I'm going to cut this.
Subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Comment, like,
follow
subscribe.
Me. Follow me.
Yeah, Lauren Crandall, at Lauren Crandall.
At Lauren Crandall, at Lauren 2_ Crandall. Whatever. I'll put in the description.
Search Lauren Crandall.
Just find me.
Search Lauren Crandall. She's the one that looks like that.
Hey.
All right. That's all.